blind desire. Blind desire. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's start with desire itself. It's actually interesting. It's an interesting thing that in the scriptures, in the New Testament, and this may be true in the Hebrew, I'd have to check that, but I know it's true in a lot of the times that the word will is used. Like you see God's will, what the will of God, all of that. That word will actually means desire. Like, what does he desire and will to do, right? And what he will do. And he pretty much, if you're God, you can kind of will whatever you want to, what you want into being. Well, he's made us with that likeness, and we desire something, okay? And then we will it into being. In other words, we begin to make choices that take us down the road, right? If you have a desire to be, to build a business, you start to make choices and you will those choices. I will do this, I won't do that, for example. And you do things to build something into ultimately something that exists. Now, here's a problem. The problem is that sometimes our desire comes out of a place of deprivation where our need is so great because we're coming from a place of brokenness where the need is so great and the desire is so great. Remember I said the will part is the making choices, that it overrides our wisdom and ability to ascertain, is this the best way to get my need met? Because our hunger is so much. Let me give you a simple example of this, okay? Let's say that you are on a road trip, you're driving across the country. Now, this would be hard to do today, but I remember, because now there's food at every exit, right? But let's say you're on a country road or wherever. Everybody's been on road trips where, it's time to eat lunch, but then you pass that exit and then, well, where's the next place? And by the time it gets to, a couple of hours later, what's everybody in the car saying? I don't care, just find me some food, right? And you get a lot less picky the hungrier you get. Well, there's a phrase to put up on your mirror. Beware of your hunger. You may be so hungry, you're not picky enough. So here's what we know. This is true from actually a neuroscience level, that the greater our need and desire, the more we tend to block out the negative that we're looking at. So let's say somebody is very, very lonely, okay? And then they go out into the world of relationships to try to get their loneliness answered. Well, it's like anybody that gives them attention or anybody that comes along, oh, it feels so good for somebody to listen or to pay attention to me that I can block out the fact that we're talking to an axe murderer. And people make some, it's like they roll the tape back, and a lot of times you hear this, people make bad relationship choices. They say, you know what? As I look back, there were plenty of signs and I just overlooked them. I just didn't see, they don't gain the same weight in your head as the need or the desire. And that can be true for your desire for approval. Maybe really get upside down sometimes in a work relationship because your desire for approval is so much that an approval withholding person can actually get total control of your head, or a critical person or whatever, because the need is so great. And then we begin to make all sorts of goofy choices. You see this in the dating land, you see it in church land, you see it in business. I mean, how many times have people hired the wrong person or taken the wrong job? And it's an honest, you come by an honesty because the need really is great. We know we have to do something. But because we need it so bad, we sort of block out some things. So I just want you to think about not being too impulsive in giving away your trust to people that there really are some signs that should be some yellow lights at least, and maybe red lights. But you're wanting this, whatever it is, so bad, that's when we tend to ignore it and not do our full due diligence in maybe evaluating it and making sure this is a really good choice to put my trust in this person or this entity or whatever. I remember when I first started out kind of in the business world, and I had some really seasoned, older, wiser people that I worked with, and we would look at doing something with some business or some company or something, and we'd have a meeting, and I would be so excited. Oh my gosh, they can do this. We ought to do this. And the older, wiser ones would say, well, I don't know. I go, how can you even hesitate? And they would always have these reasons that when they hit that mode that, I don't know, I'm not sure. I think we need to, and it would look so good to me. And I would think what they were saying were the reasons that maybe it didn't look so good. I would think, gosh, you're being kind of nitpicky. I mean, we could deal with that. And the older I got and the more years I got and the more things I end up doing, I got over that. You get over it by making some bad decisions based on your hunger or your desire. So remember, desire is a very good thing. It fuels your life. It fuels the earth, right? Like Proverbs says, the hunger of a worker is good because it drives him to work, right? We get up in the morning because we need to go do stuff. That's a good thing. It's a really good thing. But desire can get us drunk too, not let us see straight. So make sure your desire has some wisdom taking it to the marketplace or to the dating world. And don't let it blind you and give you a false picture of somebody.